What's up, y'all, and welcome back to your new favorite podcast. Am I going to get canceled for this? It's episode 8. We're out here slanging these episodes like them rocks back in the 80s, except we never bring harm to the Black community. If this is your first time here, just a reminder that we're here for the grown and sexy only, so 18 and up. So tell your husband, your mama, or the iPad to watch your kids for these next few minutes, because we're about to get into it. I'm your host, Gwen.
And I'm your host, Lynn, and welcome to hell. I guess episodes 1 through 7 has officially landed us at the right hand of Beelzebub, huh? With this heat?
Yeah.
Sweating out.
It's hot as fuck outside.
It is. I'm sweating out my human hair inside of my So it's not a pleasurable experience for me.
It's definitely not. And you know what? From here, we're just not even going to hesitate. We're going to go right into our ear hustling segment. And this is where we keep our ears to the street so you guys don't have to. And today, our first ear hustling story is about marriage. Is marriage a thing of the past? Now, rapper Drake sat down with Bobby Altoff this week for an interesting interview. Lynn, you've seen this podcast. You've talked about Bobby before. This is the driest fucking podcast YouTube series I've ever seen in my entire life. But she had the opportunity to sit down with Drake this week, and they had a conversation. And when Drake was asked about his thoughts on marriage, he responded, I don't know. It seems like a thing of like ancient times or something. I think I will eventually. He goes on to say, I don't know. I don't think I can offer somebody what they'd be looking for, just consistency. I think my life, my work is my priority. Now, Lynn, you just celebrated 10 years of marriage. You did your bid. Shouts out to you. Okay. That California law, you got those 10 years in, girl. So you know what it is.
It's about that life.
So what are your thoughts on marriage being a thing of ancient times?
Well, my thoughts on Bobby, it's like...
That's why I was let's get your thoughts on Bobby first.
No hate at all. Like, again, as we state all this time...
I don't know, I'm a fucking hate. I'm a hate.
Okay, no, I don't hate on her because I'm glad she's, I want everyone to have success. But what I do not, I feel like I'm watching literally paint dry listening to her. I don't know how people who talk like, so you like the way the wind blows? Is literally out here slanging with like one of the top podcasts. But you know what? We're about to be at the top spot too. So whatever, shout out to Bobby. Maybe we'll have Bobby you on so we could talk about reading Rainbow or whatever it is, that boring ass shit you talk about. Thoughts on marriage. I think that little piece of paper is still winning. I feel like social media and these celebrities try to play with you because they have not found the right person for them. So they want to condemn everything positive about something that's supposed to be beautiful. So I feel like, and Drake, I'm sorry.
He's a fuck boy.
He's a fuck boy for sure. Like literally you have girls throwing your bra on stage and you're like, find her immediately just because she has some big titties. Maybe that's why he don't think marriage is for him, because he goes after the wrong shit.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, he survived a long time without having kids or getting anyone pregnant. And when he popped up with, oh girl, I was just like, come on.
Sophie. Yeah. Yeah.
She was a porn star? No.
Yeah, she's a French porn artist.
Oh, she's French. So yeah. It's an art form. That makes a difference. If she was from the US or Canada doing that shit.
Nah, she'd just be like, a regular ass, like OnlyFans chick. But I guess because she's Parisian, it is.
Girl, I mean, I feel like everyone was a bit underwhelmed when they saw her. Oh girl, and saw that she got the bag of being his baby daddy, or his baby mama. But yeah, I mean,
but would you want that though? I'm sorry, I don't think being a baby's mama, no disrespect to the baby's mamas out there, because I love y'all. I want to be your baby's daddies, but I just feel
Lynn's
like
gonna get y'all child support.
I got y'all. Don't worry. I got y'all. I just feel like being a baby's mama is not a badge of honor. I'm sorry. I that's, maybe it's the traditionalist in me. I don't think being one of many is a badge of honor for anyone, to be shared and to be not cultivated in a relationship like a marriage. Not that I'm saying like people in marriages don't cheat, but what I mean is at least you're claimed. You're officially claimed. You have rights to
At least you're getting a
property.
tax break, right?
Thank you. Like being a baby mama, you don't what do you get being a baby mama? A headache?
Hopefully child support, maybe.
Maybe disappointment.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you guys remember back in, I think this is December of 2022, Drake actually had a chain made for him with 42 diamonds on it. 42. I think it was around like 12 million or $13 million. And it was called Previous, and he entitled the chain Previous Engagements. And so it was like 42 diamonds for 42 times that I guess he thought about proposing to someone.
Was it the same person though? Like
I know Rihanna was probably on there a couple of times. Georgia Smith on there a few times as well, I would imagine.
Who's Georgia Smith?
Girl, she's a singer from
Is
the
she
UK.
hot? Okay.
She's got body, black girl or mixed race, big titties, nice hips.
You know
She's a
what?
vibe. I would approve, but
I'm just
yeah.
tired of that. What about people without those assets? We're still winning. Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. I feel like if you put our bodies together, we're the perfect. You got cakes. I got top cakes. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Top cakes.
You got them titties.
I got.
I am part of the itty bitty titty committee.
But you're
and
big
Lynn
cake queen.
is not. Yeah, girl. These cakes. Happy birthday to me. All day, every day.
She's got nothing but cakes.
That's a good one. I haven't heard that one before. So yeah, if you put us together, we're the perfect mix.
We're Drake's girl. If
we are,
we're Drake's
we
girl.
are.
I love
it. Lynn and I were both married. I will say, I feel like people don't warn you enough about how real marriage is. I feel like we often see, we have this understanding. I'm not going to say that we often see, but we have this understanding that marriage is often this fairy tale thing. And once you're married, you've completed this,
the cycle.
You've completed the cycle. You've moved up to the next level. And it's all of these things. And it's just marriage is really hard. It's very difficult. It takes a lot of effort on both people's part to kind of show up and want to make things work on a daily basis. And so I feel like it's easy. People are always pushing on you, that's the next step in life, or the ultimate step in life is you're getting married and you're having kids. But I don't think that we've seen a lot of healthy marriages really kind of flourish. And, marriage, while it's supposed to be for a lifetime, you can still have a successful marriage and, divorce someone. You guys maybe just have your time together and you grow from there. But it takes a lot of hard work. I feel like there's a lot of fantasizing of what marriage is versus what it actually is. And I feel like you got to find someone that you are willing to fight with for the rest of your life. It makes sure this is, you know what I mean? Because when shit hits the fan,
that's your
you got to make sure that you're choosing wisely. You got to make sure that you are choosing wisely. So, don't believe all the hype. I feel like marriage isn't necessarily for everyone, or just make sure that you're out here. As Drake suggested, I will say that I'm happy that he's fairly self-aware. I'm happy that he realizes that he doesn't have his shit together and that him trying to marry someone at this point in the game is just not it. He's going to have to wait to I don't know, 50, 60 something to when he'll really be able to settle it down. If ever.
I don't think he's ever not that I'm wishing he don't, but I feel like he just is. I think he's at the point where he's but also you know what? I think he goes after the wrong girls. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like he goes straight for big ass, big boobs, small waist. And what did Belle Biv DeVoe? You can never trust a big butt and a smile. I mean,
did they trust me though? You can trust me. Yeah, I can be trusted.
Small booty chicks are trustworthy.
You can trust me, I promise. Okay. Now, speaking of trust issues, Lynn, this is going to bring us to our next topic for today. Have you ever gone through someone's phone? And we're talking about some toxic behaviors here. Is it okay to go through your significant other's phone? Yes, why? If not, why?
Have I ever gone through someone's phone? I go through everyone's phone. That shit is my phone. If it isn't 15 centimeters from my hand, that shit is my phone. That is our phone. This is our collective phone. Family plan. That's my phone.
That is the definition of a family plan. Your phone is my phone. My phone is my phone.
Exactly. Yes, I go through phones. I go through jump off phones. I've gone through my jump offs phones. I've gone through boyfriend's phones. I've gone through.
Why are you going through the jump offs phone though?
I don't know, because I want to see who else he's trying to jump off with.
Okay, you want to like see what the comparison is. You want to see. I'm not even going to say what you're up against, but
yeah, because there's no
competition. You don't compete when you don't compare.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm nosy as fuck, so I'm gonna go through it. Like, I literally I was like sitting next to someone. I forget. I was waiting somewhere, and I was reading their text messages.
like, why are you going through people's phone you don't even know?
Because I want to see if I can input myself. Well, you know what? Like, put your shit on micro zoom so I can't see it, but I'm going to read your text messages. If it's I'm going to look at people's pictures too. I'm sorry.
Has going through someone's phone ever gotten you out of the relationship or caused a breakup?
Yeah. Because I went looking for stuff.
You know what they say, if you go looking for shit, you're gonna find it. And I mean, maybe, because if you're not doing shit, then I'm not gonna find it. But
yeah, I've gone, like, my ex, the one that was deformed.
Stop.
I used to go through his phone, and I'm 1,000% positive, like, he was probably bi. So I think or maybe it was like he was putting girls' names under guys, which is so a rookie move. You don't do that shit. You already know.
Like, oh my gosh, I seen a guy do that. Like, for someone that I dated in like high school. I'm like, bro, you are weak.
That's rookie. That's rookie shit. Like, just be about, like, if you're gonna be texting other broads and or dudes, whatever, be brazen about it. Like, one dude, like, I was talking to him. He played for the Not Forever League, and he literally was talking to like 12 girls. I knew what it was about. And I was like, whatever, I didn't care. And I went through his phone. Obviously, I'm getting those passcodes like no tomorrow.
Are you just like side-eyeing to get the passcode, or are you just like process of elimination, or are you using some app to like decode the phone?
I don't want to age myself, but when the iPhones, like, it was like iPhone 3, 4, it was really fairly easy to crack those passcodes, because it was like, I think you just slid it over.
Okay. So we weren't even protecting our phone. We were raw dogging our phones back then.
We were raw dogging our phones. And I was like, and I remember one of my exes actually like put in a text message to his phone that said, caught you snooping. And I responded to the text message like, yes, bitch, I'm here. Lin was here, ! Thanks.
Drop the mic on that one. Good for you. He really thought he was gonna do something with that message, like, bitch, and so
like, what? If I'm not afraid of the FBI warning on copy and videos, you think I'm afraid of your fucking text messages? Boy, I'm from New Orleans, please.
Boo, bitch.
I mean, I'm assuming you have never gone.
I mean, I would never. No, I have. Definitely has been the demise of a few relationships, but I honestly feel like, again, like, I hear what people say. If you go looking for trouble, you're going to find it. You might be misconstruing or have a misunderstanding of what someone's relationship is with another person or any of those things. But I've definitely seen some like grimy shit. Just and like where I've just like hung dudes out to dry, honey. Like, I put you on the line. I'm gonna
wait. What did you see? What did you see? You have to give an explanation.
There's a couple. So, damn. Like, I don't want to give like too much advice, because like I want our women to be able to protect their hearts.
But also we're here to help them too. I don't know.
Right. So look, Apple Watches be having dudes fucked up. iMessage on the computers be having dudes fucked up.
All right, now you're talking too much. Stop.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So you've got to be more careful, because I was borrowing a boyfriend's computer, And I seen like all these text messages were popping up on his iMessage while I was on his computer. So, I looked over and just like, just kind of speed reading through a little Cliff Notes session.
Okay.
And there wasn't a name that it was saved under. It was just the phone number, but I saw shit was going left like hella fast. So this is crazy, girl. I was on the computer. I didn't have time to like read through it. So I'm like scrolling through picture, scroll, picture, scroll, picture, scroll, picture. I sent all the pictures to my best friend. And I was like, hey, girl, I just seen this on my man's computer. I don't have time to read through it. Read this and let me know if he's tripping. So I'm like still trying to go through. I'm finishing up what I'm doing on the computer. My girl hits me back in like less than a minute. And she's just like, he's fucking up. So that's like all that needed to be said. I didn't even go through. Now, mind you, I had all the pictures and all this stuff to reference and look at later.
Facts.
So I gave homeboy his computer back and we were supposed to go out and have like a day out on the town. And I was just like, so, he's asking like what we're going to do next. And I was like, oh, well, we're going to go to this museum and we're supposed to go have dinner with my sister tonight. But before any of that happens, I'm going to need for you to get your shit and get the fuck out because I don't know who you think you fucking with because I seen messages in your phone. And if I didn't see that man's whole being just like melt to the floor, his spirit left his body. It was a whole thing. So like the shit was like wild, messy. And, I'm glad that I saw what I saw because I would hate to be out here bogus in these streets. I feel like a lot of people will ask the question of like, well, do you think it's worth it? Do you wish? I'm like, yes, I would always want to know. Like, I never want to be out here feeling stupid or just feeling like I'm getting played. Yeah, like I would want to know.
That's what I'm saying. It puts it such a weird strain where you're like, should I snoop? Ladies, always fucking snoop. Always snoop. If your intuition is telling you to snoop, you fucking snoop.
Look, I mean, I feel like women are definitely in tune to their bodies and can follow these like intuitive, instinctual gut feelings that we get sometimes. But also, if you feel like you're in a space where like you can't trust the person that you're with, then why are you with that person?
Because I feel like they have a big penis.
Probably, definitely, yes. But that's what I'm gonna say. He better be dicking you down if that's the case, because otherwise you just need to go. And I feel like, my husband and I again had gotten to this point where it's just like we trust each other. And I don't feel like I need to have to do that kind of stuff. So,
I love it.
Yeah, love you, boo.
I love it.
But don't fuck around because you're going to find out, as I said before, that third eye stay woke.
It's always awake.
I'm reading your text from across the room. Like I've set up mirrors in certain angles around the house and I've learned to read backwards.
That's what I'm saying. See that? Look, I'm Inspector Gadget when it comes to
I taught my dog how to read. So when she's sitting on your lap and you're texting on your phone, don't think she's not telling me what the fuck's going down. She can read and she can type.
Ma'am, listen to this. Ma'am.
You will never believe.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like if you, like you said, if you have to snoop, like if you feel you need to snoop, you need to leave. But also at the same time, I like controversy. So I'm going to stay. I'm going to see what bitches you messing with so we can all fight. Or,
oh Lord,
we play Hunger Games. That's how I see it. Like, you know what I mean? May the best
bitch win. I'm never going up against you.
I am literally from district. Whoop that ass. So if you want to play, we can play. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, like, yeah, I agree. If you feel you have to snoop, leave. But also, if you're down for some controversy and some fun, stay, read the text messages, see what transpires, see if your fight game is where you thought it was. See if you're.
It's all about what the end goal is here. But at the end of the day, like, I'm not trying to wife nobody up that's like raggedy and gonna be out here in the streets and gonna have me looking over my shoulder for the rest of my life. I don't
That's
have time
too
for
stressful. That's too. I mean, it's fun for a little bit because you're like, ooh,
no, what kind of toxic shit?
I love it. I love it. The more toxic.
Well, speaking of protecting relationships, this is bringing us into our final ear hustling topic on NDAs. Lynn, I want you to take this one away.
All right, let's go. So, sex and NDAs. Should non-celebs also utilize this high effective piece of paper prior to get jiggy? So NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, usually utilized for things such as, secrets, sexual relationships. We know Raven Simonet, let's say her name correctly.
Okay.
Raven Simone, shout out to Raven, fellow light skin queen. She would always utilize NDAs because she said, like, she wanted to protect her life, protect her personal life. She's a huge Disney star. So I totally understand that she doesn't want slander about her. She doesn't want, backbiting, anything, to kind of diminish her character, to diminish her reputation, because we all know Raven is that chick. She would always have NDAs. She would say, like, her lawyer would send her many copies and she would either keep them at her nightstand or have them like on her kitchen counter. And she'd be like, here's an NDA. We're going to fuck around. Basically, do you think non-celebs should have NDAs? I do.
I mean, shit. If I was still out here in these streets, I'd be drafting up that little piece of paper.
Yeah.
Keep it at the front door.
Yeah.
I would like send it. If you swiped on me on like a dating app, I would make you preemptively sign that shit.
You're doing like Zillow rental. Date. Oh my God. Like you're like fucking Zillow rental manager.
Ooh, but you know what? Like
don't tell our ideas.
Yeah. We're going to start an app for that.
Yes.
So, coming soon.
Coming soon.
Protecting your secrets. Now, this also was happening before Raven Simone came out. Mm-hmm. So that's why I think she was being extra careful and very particular in having folks signing off on these NDAs. But yeah, I mean, you got to be careful, especially in a situation like that, where coming out was such like there was just a completely different climate around people and their sexuality at that point in time. And so I can definitely understand her wanting to protect herself.
And being a Disney star at that time too.
Exactly. And yeah, you got to keep those Disney checks coming in. So I get it. I completely understand. And yeah, I mean, I think you got to be careful. You definitely have to be careful, especially in the day and age of like people sending nudes and stuff back and forth. That's why I'd be warning y'all, no faces in your nudes, because you never know what someone is going to do with any of this stuff. So I think it's great to protect yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I would have multiple people be signing NDAs because there's things I like to do that I don't want ever discussed. So sign the fucking NDA.
You can't just like drop that bomb and like give me something.
There's things I like to do that you would need to sign an NDA.
Girl,
there's things I enjoy that I would like you to sign an NDA on. That's all I'm going to say.
All I'm going to say is I'm not sharing any joints with you. Okay.
It's I mean, for safekeeping, I would have. For safekeeping.
Jeez, I'm not passing you my J. That thing is gonna stay between my fingers. The actual fuck. All right, good to know. Thanks for telling.
Get an NDA because you never want people to talk about the things that you do or thought about doing or tried to do and failed at or dreamed about doing. Just get an NDA. Protect yourself. I feel like more regular Joes need to honestly do it because we see so much drama transpiring from these one night stands or pop offs. And I feel like people are like, shit, I should have just made you sign an NDA so I could just sue your ass. So get an NDA.
And I feel like dudes be trying to play women like, oh, y'all be talking so much and telling all our business. Y'all talk just as much, if not more than we do. Y'all go run and tell that.
Yes. And I work around a bunch of men and all they do is run their mouth about sexual exploits. So I know guys are chatterbugs. So
women, protect yourself. Ladies, protect yourself if you're out here with these riffraff men.
Yeah. Get an NDA. Don't play yourself. That's it.
You want to know what's so funny? It's like back in the day in like my club days of LA, my sister and I were out at the club and Raven Simone was there. We were like right up next to her table. And it was so funny. She had like In and Out at her table.
Wait, what?
She was like, yeah, she was hella nice to us and was like, oh, hey, like come over. You could be in our section. I'm like, damn, girl, if I knew you was getting at bitches, you could have hollered at me.
Wait a second.
Gave Raven some play.
Wait.
Raven. If
say her name.
Don't work. Raven Simone.
She's saying your name right, Raven Simone. So if things don't work out with your wife,
I'm here for you if things don't work out with my husband, but
wait, so you would give her play? Wait, what?
Girl,
what?
She's an icon. She's a legend. Yeah. She's a legend.
But
had I been old enough to have listened to her mixtape when it first came out, I would have listened to it.
I
But
feel like we
wasn't
were
born
listening
yet.
to it together. Stop playing. I really feel like we listened to that together as
Like,
kids. I'm not
we
gonna...
need to get in the car and just play that shit these days. If you've never heard, like, Raven Simone had an album come out when she was like 6 or 7 years old.
And she was in a Jeep with her
Yes.
cute little... And she was that girl. She still is that girl.
Back when cassette tapes were a thing.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And that shit was banging. So like I've been a fan of hers since so long ago. And then she's like a Disney queen. So she was on all that. So
wait, so you would eat muff pie for Raven Simone?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Holla at me. I like a muff. I love women. Bitches be bad. Period. I'm sorry, y'all. We're going to have to come back in like 5 minutes because Lynn is literally not able to breathe at the moment. She's currently picking herself up from the floor.
I can't. Like, I'm
Girl,
sorry.
I
love women so much too, but there hasn't been a muff pie invented. There hasn't been a muff pie baked that I would ever touch. I'm sorry.
A muff pie? Who's calling this a muff? I was today years old on this. What is a muff pie?
It's a vagina.
Yuck.
I mean, it's pie, so I guess it's a pleasurable thing. I don't like pie. See,
give me a better adjective in front of that. But yeah.
Okay, scruff pie. I don't know.
Why are you making it sound so dingy?
Okay, I don't
eat pink pie. Pink pie.
I don't eat moon pies. Let's just call it a moon. I don't. Oh my God, did you just do yum yum yum?
I feel like a moon pie is like a different part. Like go back a little bit further. I feel like that's the moon pie. So be careful on that one.
Okay, basically, listen. I'm not eating a pie. Period. Key lime, muff, scruff, tough, moon. I'm not eating a pie. I don't even eat hot dogs. So what makes you think I'm going to go out here eating muff pies? Okay.
I'm going to ask Michael if you eat hot dogs.
He'll tell you no. He'll be like, wait, what? What?
Oh my God, y'all. With that, I'm calling it quits on this. Lynn needs to be stopped. We need to be stopped. Time to move on to Take My Black Card Back. So this is your favorite podcast, we know, but this is your favorite segment on your favorite podcast, Take My Black Card Back, where we let you know that there are some things within the Black community that don't necessarily apply to us, and we're going to let you know what those things are. Lynn, I'm going to hand this over to you as per usual. Now, remember, guys, we're going to need for you guys to vote. Who's getting canceled? Is it going to be Lynn or is it going to be Gwen?
Let's go.
I think it's going to be Lynn.
No, bull. All right. Take my black card back. But I love me some Frank Sinatra. I will literally sit there and sing Mickey Blue Eyes in my Tesla while I'm driving to work. That's life. I love him. I get no kick from champagne. I love him.
Is that what he sounds like?
Yeah. Mere alcohol doesn't thrill me at all.
Yikes.
Y'all know I can sing.
I'll let you have that. I'm not a fan.
He was down with us though. He don't forget. He didn't perform. That. Yeah, he didn't perform in places that did not allow Black folks. He was
shouts out.
He was Mickey Blue Eyes was, they even said, was messing around with some sisters, which once again I missed my calling. You missed your Raven call. I missed my Mickey Blue Eyes call.
All right. Well, take my black card back, but I'm not catching the Holy Spirit at church. And if you do, I'm going to hit the record button on my phone. I'm going to send it to the group chat. I'm going to post it on my stories and social because y'all doing the most. But I will give you a little let them use you and wave my hand around. But that's the most you're going to get out of me.
Wait, so you don't condone catching the Holy Spirit?
Look, do you? But I feel like a lot of times that stuff feels hella performative. And I'm just here for the Lord. Okay. I'm here for the Lord. I'm not trying to take away from him by doing the most myself. So it's just kind of like you're taking away from the word, you're taking away from the moment by trying to have him move through you. And if he is, by all means, hit that Harlem Shake, girl. But for me, it's a no. Like, I also feel like my sister and I at a young age were traumatized. Now, my sister and I were raised Catholic. However, my paternal grandmother is Baptist. So we would go to like the Baptist church from time to time. However, my sister and I were like really young. We were at this Black church in Ohio, and people started catching like the Holy Ghost and like literally running up and down the aisle of the church. And like we were so young, we were so scared. We held on to each other because we had like coming from fucking Catholic church where it's stand up, sit down, sit down, and like real
Father,
fucking
Son, Holy Spirit. Yep.
Right. It's weird in a different way, but like not that. Like motherfuckers are not doing acrobats in the church. Like we're not on some Cirque du Soleil shit in the church. Like the weirdest shit we're gonna do is go confess our sins to a priest. But like I don't
That's
or like
shit.
body and blood of Christ, but like I don't know.
Wait, so I love when people catch the Holy Spirit because that's why I learned my new dance moves. Because I was like, wait, if the Lord gave you that, I know when I bring this to the street, this is gonna be a fire shit.
This is that new hot shit coming from the Lord himself. That's where the crank that Soldier Boy dance came from.
I mean, like, look,
y'all doing the gritty and shit. It happened in church first.
Thank you.
That's true. That is true. Damn, you know what? You're onto something. Look at us.
That's what I said, which brings me to my number 2, which is take my black card back, but I proudly dance off beat, which I think is stemming from.
That's why.
No,
if you're getting your dance moves from the Holy Ghost at church, that's why you're dancing off beat.
But you know what? Nobody
because
else
the Lord would not have you off beat. He would have you in sync, get that shoulder, hitting it hard. Okay.
I don't know. I can moonwalk pretty damn well. And I literally saw that in church too.
Girl, if you are dancing off beat, you cannot moonwalk. I'm calling your bluff. The next time we're in the church together, I need to see that.
I can oh my gosh. Listeners who know me know I can fucking moonwalk. I can moonwalk the shit out of anything you put on. I dance off beat, whatever.
No, not whatever. You can't just glaze past that within the Black community. You cannot just casually be off beat as a Black person.
It's really embarrassing though. I do want to actually talk about it because I really I took an African dance class in college.
Oh no. You are off beat and had the nerve to take an elective of African dance.
I did. And then my instructor was like, what? Like, she was like, you're the only Black girl in here and you're the most offbeat. It was a really
your instructor was a white woman too.
No, she was from Uganda. She was from Uganda and she was really about that life. And she was like, you need to move this better. She's like, how do you have all this body and you don't know how to move? I said, look, I really don't know how that happened.
You should have caught the Holy Ghost at church and those moves would have moved through you and maybe you would have had it on beat.
If I went to church, I would be ablaze. Okay. I don't think I'm allowed in church any longer.
I say that all the time. However, every time I go into church with my mama,
you're A-okay.
I make it out. I make sure I tithe heavy just to make sure that I stay in God's good graces.
Lord
okay.
Jesus.
But yeah.
I mean, I don't think I should be canceled though because I don't know how to dance on beat.
You should be canceled for that because that's pretty egregious within the Black community. But
that's a stereotype.
That's a hardcore offense.
But don't you think that's a stereotype saying all Black people can dance? Because all Black people can't dance. All Black people can't.
That's why we're taking your Black card back.
No, I can name other Black people that can't dance. It's not just me. This is absurd. Like, what the fuck?
You just told on yourself real bad.
Okay, you know what?
I'll move this along to try to help you, but you lose.
Okay.
So take my Black card back, but I'm going to therapy and I'm snitching on all y'all hoes to my therapist.
Oh my gosh.
Tom, you wouldn't believe what these bitches did today. And I'm telling on y'all, I'm going to therapy. I like therapy. It took me a while to get there, to get comfortable and get into it. But honey, mental health. We'll get into this in a moment.
Yeah.
Health is wealth, especially your mental health. You need to be taking care of yourself. We've stigmatized it so much within the Black community. And now it's time to take charge and make sure that you're taking care of yourself.
I like that because
that's your moment of wellness with Gwen.
Aw,
it's been a while. but I'm here for y'all.
You need to keep, you got to keep plugging your moments of wellness, because I think people need those wellness gems, because I am ear fucking them so much where they're like, what is going on?
They need to talk to someone about it.
Yeah. Don't talk to me. I don't want to hear your feelings. I don't care. But
you want to know something? Because I was so like weary of going into therapy, having never done it before. I like sought out this Black woman to be my therapist and went, through all of these loops of trying to find the right person and blah, blah, blah. Ended up with her for a while. She shifted and moved her practice elsewhere, so I couldn't stay with her. And so I ended up with this white guy, this older white man, as my therapist. And I was just like, oh my God, here we go. This man's not going to be able to relate with me on any level whatsoever. I've never had a better champion in my life than this like 70-year-old white man. Like he really like went to bat for the kid.
Maybe
he was trying to heal my trauma, all of that stuff. I've had an experience with a white woman therapist, and we were kind of like knocking heads a little bit. This was like a couples therapy thing though. So I don't know, but I was very shocked and surprised to see. So don't judge a book by its cover. Go get you some help. Be okay to experiment with the folks that you're going to see. But yeah. And with that, Gwen, you're definitely saved. Lin, you're canceled.
I feel like I'm not though, because my therapist is my pug, and he has told me that I am mentally sound and competent. Okay. So
y'all heard it here, folks. Stop using your friends. Stop using your family. Stop using your dogs. As like, I don't
stop using Lin's advice.
I don't need to go to therapy. I talk to my friend. Your friends don't want to hear that shit no more. Your friends need a break.
My best friend's a therapist though, so she tells me I'm okay. So if she says I'm okay, I'm okay. I'm okay.
I'm gonna need to talk to her.
She says I'm okay. Like sometimes, not all the time, but she says I'm okay. She says I'm on the right path to okayness. So I think
feel
that's
like
a win.
The more you say it, the more I don't believe you.
I'm okay. I'm okay, right?
Well, speaking of mental health, this is going to bring us right into our next segment of Canceled and Clemency. So if you've never been here before, Canceled and Clemency, we are going to cancel someone who is worthy of cancellation, who needs to be taken up off these streets. And we're also going to be offering clemency to someone who has previously been canceled and giving them their just due. So, Lin, I'm actually going to start us off on Canceled this week. And I think this comes as no surprise here. We are canceling Carly Russell. So this week, 25-year-old Carly Russell faked her abduction. We got the news today that she had faked her abduction this past week. This story is definitely giving Chef Demetric Scott vibes. You remember that one, Lin? If you haven't listened to our New Orleans episode, be sure to go back and check that one out, because it seems like Chef Scott and Carly might be related, and they are both definitely best friends with Jussie Smollett.
Oh my gosh.
So last week, Carly called 911 after allegedly seeing a toddler walking alongside the interstate in Hoover, Alabama, and she went to go investigate. After she dialed 911, she went on to call a family member, and while on the phone, a scream was heard, and then the line went dead. So police arrived to the scene a few minutes later to find Carly's vehicle still running, which was a nice touch, I might add. A few belongings and her cell phone were found at the scene of the abduction. News around the abduction went viral fairly quickly, with stories and posts being shared all over socials and news picking up on Carly's abduction. Carly went missing for 2 days before she returned home by foot on Saturday night. Carly's story to the police took several twists and turns, with her claiming she was forced into a car and then an 18-wheeler, a house, and then another car before she was able to escape on foot with minor injury to her lip and a tear on her t-shirt. Chief Nicholas Durzis of the Hoover Police Department gave a press conference on Wednesday last week detailing the story of Carly's abduction. He stated that a video showed Carly leaving work on Thursday evening, concealing a bathrobe, toilet paper, a bonnet, some edge control, and some food. I'm just kidding, y'all. She didn't really have the bonnet and the edge control, although I'm sure she already had that packed in her bag.
Oh my gosh.
During the press conference, Chief Durzis went on to discuss searches that appeared in Carly's phone and work computer prior to the abduction. July 11th, do you have to pay for an Amber Alert or search? Okay. Now, I don't even know if this is true because I didn't even want to start no shit by Googling it myself because I don't even want that shit in my search history. Okay.
Because you got to clear your cookies.
Yeah. I mean, or at least put it in incognito method. Like, don't be out here. Figure out how to get on the black web, but don't be doing that dumb shit.
Yeah.
Now, on July 13th, the day of the disappearance, she Googled how to take money from a register without being caught, as well as a Birmingham bus station, where the station was, and tickets. So she had also researched the movie Taken. Now, Carly has since been fired from her job where she was working at a spa. And Carly's lawyer today released a statement stating that Carly never saw a baby. There was no kidnapping, and that she never left the city, and she apologized and asked for prayers as she addresses her issues. A decision has not yet been made on whether or not criminal charges will be filed. Now, Carly, I see you, okay? The writers, they've been on strike since May. We all know content is a little dry, so we have to get creative on how we're entertaining ourselves these days, okay? And you took it upon yourself to create your own real life feature film. Took it.
Oh my gosh.
And you even did the research for the role. Hats off to you, girl. But maybe you can take a note from some of these method actors. You gotta really get into character. Get into the scene. You can't claim to be missing for 2 days and then show up with a slightly busted lip. Girl, make me believe you. Commit to the role. Blacken your eye. Break a bone. Give me something.
Commit on yourself, basically. What the fuck?
I mean, what the fuck are you doing? So, Carly, we know you're the star of your own show, but you need a better supporting cast. Your parents may need a few more acting classes before hitting major news outlets like the Today Show. And now, of course, people are up in arms over Carly's faux disappearance, and they're not wrong, right? We know that Black women have this superpower, and it's called invisibility.
Whoa.
It is a cloak that we wear where we aren't seen until we do something to piss you off or warrant your hate. And how do we know that Black women are invisible? Well, the amount of Black men not dating Black women started to tip us off. However, we actually have numbers to show that 40% of missing people are Black women or children. So, in the words of the late, great Malcolm X, the most disrespected person in America is the Black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the Black woman. The most neglected person in America is the Black woman. We're good enough to be your sidekicks in movies, but rarely the main character. Y'all jack our fashion, our hairstyle, and our men, but are happy to leave us for dead and unsearched for when the time comes. So, Carly, try harder. With it being as tough as it is for Black women to get the news coverage, for Black children to get the news coverage when we're going missing, we need to make sure that we are protecting ourselves and doing what we can to uplift the Black community and to not put us under further scrutiny or instigation for this kind of stuff. So I hate to see this happening to a Black woman, but she really did this one to herself. So for that, Carly Russell, you are canceled.
Oh, that sucks. I mean,
it sucks, but this girl that's big dumb. And we were talking about mental health and all of that now. I don't even want to say it's like using the excuse of mental health being the issue. I mean, obviously something has to be off for you to like go through this whole ruse for you to watch Taken and all of this stuff to like really try to be like taking. This bitch was watching the movie Taken. No, she was pausing that shit and like,
Googling, wait, let me see.
Googling during the thing. What's that Ben Affleck movie? I don't know if you remember
Gone
this.
Girl?
Yes. You should have watched that. Why are you watching Taken, bitch? You need to be watching Gone Girl because
is she going to take someone?
That woman got away with it, but also she was a white woman. So you need to know how to pick them, how to choose them. But there's just, Black women just don't get enough coverage. We don't get enough support in the media, and we don't get enough support in life in general. So I hate to see these kind of things happening within our community, we hate to cancel a Black woman, but when you're doing shit as dumb as this, gots to go.
So our cancellation does not discriminate. So that's what makes us extremely fair.
It doesn't discriminate.
No.
I will say, might be a slight win for the Black community, for Black women particularly.
Why though? Because we still missing.
So Carly had a boyfriend. His name is Tamar Latrell Simmons. And honey, when people found out about this Carly situation, we started to deep dive into a little bit more. They found her man, which I don't even know if they go together no more. I'm gonna take a wild guess and say nah. They found him on the internet. He is TEE_Sims28 on Instagram. When I looked this weekend, this motherfucker had 50,000 Instagram followers, which I know he did not have prior to this all happening. And when I checked today, he was up at 60,000. Okay. So he is out here in these streets. And I'm sure Tamar's DMs are full because women were dragging Carly for her behavior when she has a man like this on deck. Now, BB, we're talking beautiful chocolate skin. We're talking college educated. And he may not be over 5'5", but that beard connection, though, that beard was connecting.
Wait. Hardcore. You say he's not over 5'5"?
I don't know. He looked like a little shoddy doo-wop to me, but he's still cute. And we saw him with his cap and gown on. So, that man is educated. So we'll see. We'll see.
That's a strange. This is strange. There's too much strange shit.
It's so strange. Like, it's just so fucked up, like how many twists and turns this story has taken. But like, this is probably the best thing that's ever happened for Tamar. Like his girlfriend faking her disappearance was his best week ever.
Oh my gosh. I feel sorry for her though. I feel like why did she fake? You know what I mean? Like, I have done some dramatic shit. God. I have ran away. I have.
Oh no! Can we use that? That needs to be your take your black card back for next week. I would threaten, but I never left. I
ran away. The block. Yeah, I ran away like multiple times.
This was last week. Last week that you ran.
I ran away. Like and that's what I'm saying. Like I am an attention. Like when it comes to stuff like this, like when I get into arguments, I will pretend like one time with Michael, I pretended to hit my head and
Michael, I swear to God, I hope you're not listening. And I can't believe you just snitched on yourself like that, Lynn.
I had just reasons.
Get out.
I pretended to have amnesia.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today because Lynn is so out of pocket today. And I'm not sure that we're going to get a clemency because...
Am I canceled?
Yeah. What the actual fuck? You faked it. You literally cannot stand your ass. I love you and I hate you at the exact same time.
On everything I love, I faked.
I'm so sick of you. I'm so fucking sick of you. We're about to take a 20-minute commercial break while we both catch our breath because, geez, Lynn, I don't even want you to go on continuing to tell this story because I want the fuck out of you for dancing off a beat, and now
I just want people to know the real me.
You and Carly went to the same school.
Bitch, I got away with it.
No, I got away with Carly and Chef Scott until he listens because he is. I bet he outside that door right now. He's ready to catch your ass.
I faked.
He's gonna have you hit your head again.
I faked having amnesia and he didn't even entertain it. That's
exactly.
I was like, wait, what happened?
Wait till my husband hears this episode. He's gonna think I'm so fucking chill. You make me look so good.
You're welcome.
Hey, BB.
You're welcome. Yeah. So Carly, I get you. I understand you probably were going through some traumatic shit. That's why I faked having amnesia. But I think I actually faked amnesia because he wouldn't take me somewhere. So my bad.
Oh God. Can you just tell us who's clemencized? Because I'm just ready for this to be done for today.
I'm clemencized for
Jeez.
Today, you guys, we're clemencizing Dave Chappelle. I know this is going to be a controversial take, but we're controversial. So I'm not going to go into in depth as to why he was canceled because I still am trying to figure out myself as to why Dave Chappelle is really canceled.
Don't be scared, girl. Let them know. Let these people know.
I'm clemencizing Dave Chappelle because I feel that he is a comedic genius. He brought us literally every single tagline from 2000 and onward.
Some of the best memes.
Some of the best memes. Putting some of the best. Let's also talk about how he put some of the best rappers on platforms that weren't given platforms on his show simply because they were underground rappers. And I'm talking about, he brought the resurgence of Mos Def back. He had Kanye West on there. He had Questlove. He had everybody on Chappelle Show. Remember when he would do like the musical guests? Like that stuff was bangers. But I want to talk about how the selective outrage when Dave Chappelle was making fun of Black folk, when he was making fun of Latino folk, when he was making fun of Asian folk, there was no outrage. But when
everyone was laughing then.
Yeah, we were, Clayton Bigsby's hilarious. Okay, he's literally making fun of a racist KKK individual who used the word nigga so freely. It was literally like y'all were saying it because y'all thought it was really okay. But the moment he, I guess, makes he made LGBTQI jokes.
LGBTQI.
Yeah.
What group is this you're referencing?
Yeah. He made those jokes and it was like literally World War III. And I'm not saying, of course, we have to protect our gay community. Those are our babies. We have to protect them. We have to make sure violence never comes their way, just as with every community that is, under the microscope of patriarchy and a systemic system that, seeks to diminish minorities and those that are different. But I want to talk about where was the cancellation when he was, like I said, talking about minorities? It didn't exist. Is it when we make fun of Black people and Latino people, it's funny? When we make fun of gay people, it's not funny? Like, I want to know the connection there.
Yeah.
And it bothers me. It does bother me because as a Black woman with, such ties into my community, into the gay community, into everything, I want to know why he wasn't canceled for that. You know what I mean? Not that he even should be canceled. I mean, we literally are straying so far away from what comedy is now. You can't even make a joke. And these people have said worse shit. Like when Louis C.K. was saying nigga in front of Chris Rock, y'all was mum. But
and Chris Rock let that shit slide.
He let it slide. Yeah. And even the fact that Jerry Seinfeld, a Jewish white man in America, saw there was more problematic use of the N-word coming out of Louis C.K. mouth than Chris Rock's mouth is everything I need to know. But I don't understand how when we mock the Black community, it's funny, it's artistic genius, we need to let it flow. But when we make jokes about another community that is, under duress like us, it's not funny, it's cancellation, it's stop, it's, transphobic. Just because you disagree with something does not mean it's transphobic. It just means you disagree with that talking point. That's all.
But then also too, is just like in the space of comedy, like you make fun of things that are true. Like it's funny because it's true.
Yeah. And it's
funny because there's ways that you can like it's just like, what is comedy then? What are we doing with comedy if people aren't allowed to be able to poke fun at things? And again, we want everyone to feel comfortable. We want everyone to be safe, but very much to your point, Lynn, like it's cool to talk about everybody else, but when it comes to a particular group,
it's all holds barred. You got to stop.
And now let's not say like this has been going on for years, right? Like people have been talking about the gay community, the LGBTQI community, and joking about them and all of that stuff. So now we're in this age of just like everyone being so woke, and it's almost as if everyone is now walking on eggshells to make sure that we stay PC and don't offend the right person. So with this stand-up that you're referencing, which I think was the closer, which was that Netflix, that Netflix special. I mean, it was interesting to see. And I mean, we're granting you clemency and putting air quotes around that because
you weren't really cancelable,
right? Like I loved how he took it like a knock to the chin and was just kind of like, okay, like you're not going to scare me. You're not going to silence me. I'm not going to allow you to do what you think you can do to everyone else. And I love the way that he kind of just stood up for it, stood up for himself, and kind of just stood up for the space of like where comedy can be a safe space to like safely make fun of things.
Yeah. And it's not like there's a difference between Michael Richards who, if you guys don't remember, he was played Kramer on Seinfeld, where he was like screaming the N-word at a comedy show. There's a difference between that and then Dave Chappelle doing the gay KKK. Again, when he did the gay KKK skit, there was nothing. And I feel like it's this newer generation that is finding everything problematic, which is problematic. And it's creating a space where there's no more discourse. It's just fighting. And that's where we need to really check ourselves on that shit. You know, when someone's being racist, you know, when someone's transphobic, if they tell you, you know, literally, oh, I hate gay people. Yes, you fucking buck back. But when you're making jokes as a comedian, that is your craft. That is your artiste. As long as they're doing it in a way that doesn't invoke violence or anything like that, there's nothing, you know, it's comedy. It is comedy.
Yeah.
And I just feel like we lost sight of that so much because we are literally, like you said, walking on eggshells for the most minimal things. Like, come on.
Yeah.
He's a comedian, y'all. He has been around for so long. He has said so many jokes in regards to the gay community, Black community, every type of community you can imagine. But now all of a sudden, like he literally did a skit about a gay KKK. Did they not see that?
Don't remind them, because now they're gonna go back and try
let me Google this
on his name.
No, but
what's this I hear about a gay KKK?
But it's comedy, y'all. Like, let's have fun again. That's the problem. Yes, we know there's so much violence facing our beautiful gay community, but at the same time, we're all up in arms right now. Black community still being under fire. Latino community, Asian community, every type of community is under fire right now. But what I'm saying is, we cannot have selective outrage. And that's what I see is why we are clemencizing Dave Chappelle, is because his jokes were seen as selective outrage. If you want to be mad at him for everything. Be mad at him for opposing, like, you know, the buildings in his hometown of not wanting a homeless shelter, I believe that was being built there, or some type of development. You know, cancel him for that shit. Don't cancel him for being a comedian.
Yeah, but one of like comedic geniuses of our time. Like,
wow. He had Paul Mooney with him. Paul Mooney, a gay writer, guys.
So much. He's given us so much. Don't Paul you try Mooney. To take away from him.
Yeah, as I'm saying, Paul Mooney was one of his top writers. As you know, you guys need to Google who a lot of his writers were actually gay. So let's do more research before we start, like, you know, crucifying the man, please.
Don't come for him.
Yeah, don't. I love Dave Chappelle. He's the only person that can make me literally cry besides myself laughing, because I make myself laugh.
I used to be the funniest person I knew. You might be coming up on me, but I don't know.
I'm a fucking comedian.
It's certified crazy. Are we allowed to say that?
Hey, say that. Don't get canceled.
But you know what? And this is what brings us, like, this is how we even got to the name of this podcast, is just because of this experience that we're having now within this time of so much sensitivity, so much censorship. And yeah, y'all
need to chill. Like, I'm sorry. Like, let us have, I mean, bring me back to 2003. That's when shit was lit. Okay. Like, I was 2, but you know,
I was a young lad. I was a young lad back then, but
I was just born, but you know,
like, Williker, this time we're good.
Just bring us back to that where we laugh at shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, please don't take everything so sensitive. Watch, we're going to have comments like, you guys are trans. I promise I'm not transphobic. I love gay people. I sound like those white people. I love Black people. I have 3 Black friends.
I've got so many friends within the LGBT.
My dog is Black, you guys. Okay.
Couldn't be racist. Not me.
Negros. What is that? No, I never said that. But you guys just laugh at Chappelle. I mean,
we need some laughs. We need more laughs these days.
We do. And that's why our show is called Am I Gonna Get Canceled for This? Because we want to talk about this shit.
And with that, guys, brings us to the end of the podcast. We thank you guys so much for listening. Be sure to follow us on Spotify, follow us on Apple Podcasts, and you can also find us on YouTube at Am I Going to Get Canceled for This? _ Am I Going to Get Canceled for This? You can find us on our Instagram. And don't forget that we want to hear from you guys. Send us a DM. Lynn wants to see your nudes. I do not. That's not
I mean, I don't. I mean, maybe. No.
I mean,
no.
Send them to Lynn, and then I'll like how she looks at other people's phones from across the room. I'll check it out that way.
Don't send me your nudes because I'm going to show Michael. We have a full, hey, look at this. Actually, no, send them. Send them.
Send them.
We want to
Send
laugh.
them. All right. Or we want to be
laugh.
shocked and surprised.
Just
Be sure
surprise
to go ahead and give us 5 stars on all those platforms. Make sure that you like and subscribe so we can keep our lights on, and make sure that you guys follow up with us next week for another amazing episode. Until then, toodaloo.
Laters.